My name is Ava Carter, and until recently, I believed the worst pain in life came from loss. I was wrong. The real pain came from discovering that someone you trusted your entire life, someone who shared your blood, your childhood, your mother, could betray you in ways that strangers never could. My mother, Evelyn Carter, passed away in early spring. Her death wasn't sudden, but no amount of slow decline ever prepares you for the silence that follows the final heartbeat. The hospital room felt small, suffocating, and far too clean for the mess of emotions exploding inside me. I held her hand as it grew cold. I whispered her name even after the monitors went still, but nothing reached her anymore. My older sister, Lily, stood at the foot of the bed with her arms crossed tightly, her face pale but dry. She had always been composed, practical, and alarmingly calm in moments where most people would fall apart. She didn't cry when Dad left, she didn't cry when Grandma died, and she didn't cry when the doctor said Mom didn't make it. Her strength always intimidated me until I realized later that maybe her calmness wasn't strength at all. Maybe it was control. People flooded the funeral. Neighbors, coworkers, students from the library where Mom worked for 20 years. Everyone had a story about her generosity, her kindness, her laughter. I listened to them all with an empty heart, feeling like the world had taken something from me that I couldn't ever get back. But Lily? She took charge of everything. Arrangements, documents, guests, finances, everything. She didn't let me lift a finger, which at the time I thought was her way of protecting me. I was wrong. It was her way of keeping me away from things she didn't want me to see. One week after the funeral, Lily and I sat in a dim office lined with law books as the attorney unfolded Mum's will. I expected simplicity. Mom wasn't wealthy, but she was sentimental. She owned a small house, some modest savings, and a few valuable pieces of jewelry passed down through generations. The attorney cleared his throat. Your mother left everything equally to her daughters, as stated here. The house, the accounts, the jewelry, all split 50-50. I nodded, already knowing that's exactly what Mom would have wanted. But then the attorney continued. There is also one sealed item specifically addressed to Ava. My heartbeat quickened. I turned to Lily. Her expression didn't change, but her fingers twitched. A sealed item? Lily said. What kind? A small metal box, the attorney said. Your mother instructed me to give it to Ava upon completion of the funeral. A box? Mom never mentioned anything like that to me. The attorney left to retrieve it. While he was gone, Lily leaned toward me. Mom probably meant for both of us to see it, she said softly. No, I said it was addressed only to me. Maybe it was a mistake, she insisted. Before I could respond, the attorney returned, empty-handed. I don't understand, he stammered. It was here. I placed it in the safe myself. It seems to be missing. My stomach dropped. Missing? I glanced at Lily again. Her jaw tightened almost imperceptibly, but I noticed. I always noticed. I'm terribly sorry, the attorney said. It must be a clerical issue. I'll investigate immediately. But I couldn't hear anything past the ringing in my ears. A box meant for me. A box that vanished. A sister who avoided my eyes. Something was wrong. Very, very wrong. In the days that followed, grief consumed me, but suspicion grew quietly in the shadows. Lily moved through the house mechanically, cleaning, organizing, packing, but her behavior shifted. She became protective of Mom's room. She locked doors she never locked before. She stayed up at night, rummaging through closets and drawers. I pretended not to notice at first, thinking this was her way of coping. Until I found the evidence. 3 days later, I stepped into Mom's bedroom and froze. Everything was ransacked. Drawers pulled out, photo boxes emptied, closet torn apart. This wasn't grieving. This was searching. My heart hammered violently as I stepped over clothes scattered on the floor. And then I saw it, half hidden under the edge of the nightstand. A small silver key. The exact key Mom used to keep on the necklace she wore every single day. But the necklace itself? Gone. My breath shook. Someone had found the decoy of the attorney's box. Someone had taken Mom's key. Someone had been trying to open something. And that someone was Lily. When she came home with grocery bags, she didn't expect me to be waiting in the kitchen. "Lily," I said quietly, "what did you do with Mom's necklace?" She froze for a fraction of a second. Barely noticeable, but noticeable enough. "Probably lost during the hospital rush," she muttered too quickly. I stepped closer. "And the box from the lawyer?" She looked away. "I told you, the lawyer lost it." "No," I said, my voice cold. "Someone took it before it ever reached me." Her jaw tightened. "And why was Mom's room torn apart? Why was her key on the floor?" Silence. Not guilt, not surprise, just silence. That was my answer. "You don't understand," she whispered. "Then explain. Explain why you stole something meant for me." Her eyes hardened. "Because Mom wasn't thinking straight," she said bitterly. "She spent her last months worrying about you, obsessing over you, writing letters to you, collecting things for you. She never appreciated everything I did. I was the one who took care of her. I deserved something too." My throat tightened. "You don't have the right to steal from me." "I didn't steal," she snapped. "I protected you." "Protected me from what?" But she didn't answer. She simply walked away. The screen flickered, a blurry image sharpened, and then there she was, Mom. She was sitting on her favorite green armchair, wrapped in her knitted blanket, her cheeks pale, but her smile as warm as ever. Her eyes, the same soft brown as mine, glowed with something that made my chest tighten. Love, pain, and a secret she had been holding on to. "Ava," Mom whispered in the video, her voice shaking just a little, "if you're watching this, then I'm gone." My throat closed. Beside me, Lily turned away, pressing her trembling hands to her mouth. Mom continued, "And if you're watching this, it means the truth can no longer stay buried. It means you're old enough now, strong enough, ready. Ready for what?" Tears blurred my vision. Mom smiled gently. "You're probably angry, confused, hurt. And I'm sorry, sweetheart, truly. But I needed to protect you from something that could have destroyed you when you were younger." Lily's breath hitched beside me. Mom looked down at her hands, then back up at the camera. "Ava, I'm going to tell you everything, starting with the man you met." My heart stopped. The stranger. Mom nodded, as if she could see my reaction from beyond the grave. Yes, Ava, the man who comes to you. His name is Matthew Hale. The name echoed in my mind like thunder. And he is your biological father. I froze completely. It didn't feel real. I felt Lily shiver beside me. She had known. For years. And she had kept it from me. Mom continued, I met Matthew long before I met the man who raised you. And yes, your dad knew. He chose to love you anyway. He chose to be your father in every possible way. My chest tightened painfully. Mom took a shaky breath. I didn't tell you because you were too young. And then, when things with Matthew turned dark, I wanted to erase him from our lives entirely. Dark? I frowned. What did he do? Why was Lily so afraid? Mom continued, her voice trembling now. Ava, Matthew was not a good man. Not back then. He made choices I couldn't accept. He got involved with dangerous people, dangerous work, and I didn't want you anywhere near that world. My stomach tightened. Lily silently cried into her sleeve. Mom continued, her voice trembling now. I left him before I even knew I was pregnant. And when he tried to come back into our lives years later, your dad threatened to call the police. Her eyes glistened with tears. But Matthew insisted. He insisted he wasn't the same man anymore. And I, being the fool I was, believed him. She laughed bitterly. And then Lily found out. I looked at my sister in shock. Mom turned her head as if she could see me from beyond the grave. Yes, sweetheart, I know you're watching this with her. I know you tried to protect Ava. You always did. Lily sobbed silently. Mom looked back into the camera. Ava, this truth was never supposed to stay hidden forever. Ava deserves to know who she is. She deserves to know the whole story. My hand shook on the keyboard. Mom inhaled slowly. Ava, listen to me very carefully. What I am about to tell you will change everything you thought you knew. My heart thundered. Mom leaned forward. When you were little, around 7 years old, something happened to you. Something you were too young to remember clearly. A cold chill rushed down my spine. I was taking you to school, and a car slammed into us. It wasn't an accident. Lily gasped, her hand covering her mouth. It was aimed at us. My vision blurred. Ava, someone wanted to hurt me. And because of that, they hurt you. My throat locked. The injuries you had, the headaches, the fainting spells, the memory loss, all of it came from that incident. I shook my head slowly. I had fainting spells growing up, strange nightmares, missing memories. I always thought they were normal childhood things. Mom exhaled shakily. The man responsible was connected to Matthew, someone from his past life, a man that Matthew had betrayed. My entire body went cold. Mom shook her head, tears running down her cheeks. I never forgave him for that. Never. Not even when he tried to make amends. But I allowed him to watch from a distance. I allowed him to send gifts, letters, money, only because he swore he'd changed. She wiped her tears. But I never allowed him to meet you. Not until you were old enough. Something stung inside me. Sharp, raw. Mom continued, Ava, you might be angry with me, but everything I did was to protect you. I felt a tear roll down my cheek. And now, there is one more thing. She lifted a small wooden box into view, the same box I had never seen, the box that Lily had hidden.
This is yours. I blinked hard. Inside the box was a silver locket. Old, worn, beautiful. Mom held it gently. Matthew gave me this when I told him I was pregnant. Inside, he placed something for you. She opened the locket slowly. Inside was a tiny folded note. Mom didn't open it. She just looked at the camera with tired, soft eyes. Ava, whatever happens next, remember this. You are stronger than you think, kinder than you believe, and braver than you'll ever know. Her smile trembled. And no matter what blood runs in your veins, you are my daughter, forever. Nothing can change that. Her voice broke. I love you. The screen flickered, then turned black. The video ended.